Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the fourth episode of the RedForcePodcast. I'm your host, Eric Talato. Joining me today is my co-host, Christian Talato.
That's me.
Christian, quiet week this week.
Quiet week, no chapter.
Somber week, you know.
I'm just chilling out. I don't have to delve deep.
Mourning that there's no One Piece chapter this week, you know.
You know, it's a blessing in disguise because I don't have to go down into the salt mines of Oro Jackson
Right.
and other communities this week. So, a week off for me.
What do we
chill.
got for the people this week, Christian?
Alright, so, as promised, we have Shabondy secrets and we have copious notes.
Copious notes, ladies and
Copious
gentlemen.
notes on board.
Unprecedented 5 pages of notes here.
I mean, I had a lot of notes for Whitebeard.
Yeah, what else we got on the docket this week, Christian?
We have Shanks, of course.
Yep.
We have the Power Scale.
Yep.
World's Worst Theory. Caesar joining the crew.
And the topic of the show?
Alright, people are going to say we're going to criticize Oda. So I decided I'm going to make a topic of the show the problems with Oda's typical arc structure.
Alright, and for a little bit of a bonus out there, we have maybe some thoughts on how to defeat Kaido in the coming Wano arc.
Thanks to Shabondy Secrets.
Hashtag Shabondy Secrets. Anything else before we start, mate? Anything you want to talk about in the One Piece community? Crunchyroll has that Trinya.
Crunchyroll's fine this week. Anime's alright.
How was the dinner that you just had?
Delicious dinner. Good roast chicken.
Anything else? Is that it?
We have a question from a listener.
First question from a listener.
A very good question.
We'll get into it.
Vamish Krishna.
You want to get into it now?
We don't have a segment for this, so we're just gonna put it at the start.
Alright, so we'll see how we go. Go on, give us the question.
Do you guys think Kuina's alive? Because her death was so pathetic. I mean, who dies by falling downstairs? She is kicking Zoro's ass too. Anyone who could beat Zoro at an adult age can't have a pathetic death.
Now, Christian, here's the thing. People think that it's Tashigi.
No, it's not Tashigi.
But Oda's brought this up himself that they look extraordinarily alike, but that she's not actually
Well, first of all, do you think she's dead?
Do I think she's dead? Yes.
I'm skeptical.
If it's
because
what, is it going to be like another Zabo situation where she gets like amnesia?
No, because her father Kenshiro is known to have ties with Revolutionary Army.
Yeah, we know this revolutionary secret.
Did she join the Revolutionary Army?
We saw the body.
No, we didn't.
We did. She had the cloth over her eyes.
Yeah.
And the Big Daddy swordsman gave the sword to Zoro. Do you think the sword would have been given to Zoro if she was dead?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Maybe she got taken away from the Revolutionary Army.
So you're saying she might have got taken away to the Revolutionary Army?
It's a low chance.
Low chance.
Low chance.
Question for you. If she is alive, will the sword come back into play and will Zoro give it back to her? It's kind of like a moment. Because the sword's a promise, pretty much.
Yeah. So, is she alive? Probably not.
Will Zoro be happy to find this out, or will he be like, you're my rival? Or you're my true rival?
Yeah, maybe. But, yeah. If she's alive, my favourite theory for her being alive is the revolutionary theory.
Alright. So, do you think she's one of the, like, commanders of the revolutionary? Yeah. How high up does she go?
I don't know.
Is she equal to Zoro? Or stronger than Zoro?
She's not equal to Zoro.
Now, Christian...
Who's equal to Zoro?
Now,
it's crazy.
Christian, you think Wano's going to solve all our problems? Will she turn up in Wano?
Maybe.
Maybe.
And we will find out more about this in Wano, so...
Yeah.
Wano is going to save...
Do you think Zoro's master is going to be in Wano?
Kenshiro?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Zoro's kind of
There's probably some legend or
something. About how hype he is or something.
Yeah.
Alright. So, do we think Queen is alive? I say no.
I also say no, but if she is, my favourite theory is the Revolutionary Army theory.
Alright. Do you want to move on to the first topic, Christian? What do we got?
Shabondy Secrets.
Shabondy Secrets. This is going to be a long one, ladies and gentlemen, so strap in. Shabondy Secrets, Christian. Shall we get started? What do you have for us?
First of all, I love this arc.
Very good arc.
This is a sleeper hit arc.
Now we've gone the...
Possibly my top 3.
We've gone the post-arc and pre-arc.
Yeah.
Post-time skip and pre-time skip, rather.
Pre-time skip arc is like one of my favourite arcs.
Yeah, the post has some minor details that we'll go over.
There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Alright, so... First of all, let's talk about right at the start. The Devol and the Flying Fishman.
Right.
Alright, so... People think this is filler.
They do.
It's not filler.
It's interesting that Oda layers another, like, kind of level to this story with, like, the kidnapping organizations going on.
Yeah.
In Shabondy.
It actually adds, like, bounty hunters and, like, that kind of thing.
Fills out the Celestial Dragons in kind of a way as well.
Yeah.
We know the Gorosei. Is this the first time that we
Yes.
kind of see the Celestial Dragons?
First time we see the Celestial Dragons.
Are they the first time that they're mentioned? Maybe.
Yo.
We'll have to go back, maybe. We know we've seen the Gorosei and the Holy Land Marriage beforehand, but we haven't seen the Celestial Dragons.
I think this is the first mention of Celestial Dragons.
Right.
We may have seen a Celestial Dragon in the Reverie, the last, like, in Alabasta when we saw it.
The guy with, like, the blonde beard.
The guy with, like, this kind of spacesuit, but he doesn't have the helmet on.
Yeah.
So we might have seen Celestial Dragons before, but this is the first time they mentioned.
So, what do you like about this arc? First of all, like, what do you think stands out?
It's not a typical One Piece arc.
Yeah.
It's so different. A lot of interesting characters introduced. A lot of important characters for the story introduced. The supernovas.
Real quick as well. It's not like it's not.
It's like
really,
in a chapter they're all introduced.
It's not bogged down in details, sort of, but you know, there's a lot of detail, but like, it's not bogged down by laborious plot points that don't need to be there. Everything that it's there needs to be there, which is kind of a refreshing take.
It's a quick arc. It's a fast arc. There's a lot of cool stuff happening.
It kind of reminds me of Zoe a little bit, where like it's a short arc and we're getting to the point.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're on Devol. So what do you want to say? What do you want to say about Devol?
The crew fighting the Flying Fishman is like one of the best like crew fights that's ever happened in the show.
I like these flying fishmen. Do we think we'll see fish vehicles come into the story again?
We'll get to it, but surely we'll see the Flying Fishman again.
I hope so.
So this fight is extremely dynamic. We get to see all the crew use their abilities to their best. Get to see lots of combo attacks.
We kind of see Brooks like
We're
getting to understand Brook, and he's rolling.
He does his first like hypnotic attack.
Yeah, he's got like a sort of like
musical
slash going on.
It's the first time we get to see that.
Yep.
Like Frankie's like actually using the Sunny as a weapon.
Yep. We've seen the gold cannon for the first time.
Yeah, he does the chicken maneuver where he moves and dodges at the angle.
Yep.
He does just destroys the whole like platform area with the gold cannon.
Speaking of the Sunny, do we think Jinbei's going to do some cool stuff with the gold cannon and the special things that the Sunny can do, or do you think he's just going to be like a steering master when he's
just a steering master because like Usopp shoots the cannon.
Yeah.
Like Frankie knows where all the maneuvers are.
Do you think there's more secrets that the Sunny holds that we haven't seen yet?
I think we've seen all the docks, so...
Right. No. Do you think there's some kind of, like, hidden mechanic that we don't know about? Maybe, like, a super general with the Frankie itself?
The super fighting mech Sunny.
Maybe. So, I've said this for a little bit. I was thinking, like, how is Frankie going to evolve as, like, a fighter? We understand that the general's extraordinarily powerful. Maybe he's, like, the general's only, like, the first half of the mech, and the second half is the Sunny on top or something. Something, like, ridiculous. Because we know Oda loves his Power Rangers and his mechs and that kind of thing. So that might be fun.
That would be fun. But, you know, we got 5 pages of stuff here, so we better get through it.
Yep. Go on.
So
Devol?
Sanji's wanted poster gag pays off.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's interesting to think that even gags in One Piece are relevant.
It's like Sanji's wanted poster is like hints for the future of the story.
Right.
So like this Duval thing, where he's got like a retarded drawing of himself.
Yep.
Where it looks all weird and it's like out of place.
Yeah.
And then it turns out to be looks like Duval.
Right.
And then that leads into Shabondy, and then the latest one with the Only Alive, that like leads into Whole Cake.
I just want to say this about the Devol fight and the whole Flying Fisherman. Very good art in this section.
A lot of cool, because it's on the sea.
Highly detailed, cool armor. It's very cool armor for Devol.
Yeah. Also, like, this is one of like the only sea battles in the show.
Yeah.
Which is like we're seeing one right now on Whole Cake Island.
Sorta.
It's sort of a, but like they use the ship.
Yeah.
They maneuver the ship. It's a very cool battle. It's a very rare battle. Very unique.
I mean,
it's really cool.
The battle we have at Whole Cake Island is kind of just like the ships act as land. They're not really acting as ships. You know what I mean?
Well, the ships haven't gotten close to each other to actually have a ship battle.
Because we know that I'm assuming the whole crew can operate the gold cannon. Do you think there's enough cola to use that against Big Mom at the moment?
Probably not, because they can't coup de burst.
Right.
So there's probably not enough cola. But yeah, that whole little mini portion.
Yeah. We
get to see Hachi again. Like, they hate Hachi.
Yeah.
Because of the whole Arlong Park thing.
Yeah.
And they're not willing to help him. Which, like, is a reminder to the audience that Luffy and the crew aren't necessarily good people.
Right.
They hold grudges. They're pirates, right?
Yeah.
They're sort of in that grey area, which is interesting.
Do we think we'll see Devol and his crew or his unit around again, or is he?
I think Devol. I wanted my main theory for who would crash the wedding was Devol.
Yeah, I was thinking Devol would come back as well.
Yeah, I was thinking because Sanji's in trouble and they mentioned him like really early in the arc.
Right.
Because the Vintos were like, "Oh, we ran into this guy, who looked like your wanted poster, but it wasn't him." And so I was thinking like, because they're in Shabondy, they're close to the New World.
When we think about human trafficking and Big Mom, do we think? I don't know. Maybe I was expecting Devol to be invited for some reason.
Because he's kind of cleaned his act up though.
He really hasn't though. He's still a part of like the gang. He just likes the Straw Hats.
Yeah, they defended the Sunny for 2 years.
Yeah, they did, but I imagine they're still like kidnapping people while they're defending the Sunny.
Maybe.
Because it doesn't seem like they've like given up their like kidnapping escapades.
But like, Devol's backstory was like, I didn't want to do this. I have to do this because the government's after me.
Yeah, but like now they're involved and that's how they make their money. I don't know.
What else? Possibility. Yeah, possibility. Yeah, but my main theory for Devol was he was going to come back to the wedding to help Sanji.
Yeah.
They would have had a cool flying.
Not many
unit.
callbacks to Sanji in Whole Cake with characters. It's kind of interesting that didn't happen. Were we expecting Zeph to be invited? Maybe.
That's what I was saying with the last week with the dropped plot points in Whole Cake, right? We got the start of the arc, right? Yeah. We had Brook being weird. He knows something about the Vince Smokes or something.
Yeah. He's
keeping a secret. I never really find out about that. We might, but we haven't found out about it.
I think if Zeph was a physical hostage in Whole Cake, I would feel the Sanji tension more. But since he's not really there, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
It could have been possible that he would have been there. It wouldn't have been that hard. But anyway.
Okay, so Devol, a really good part of the arc. Really good taster for the arc to come. Good fight.
Yeah.
Good art. Good choreography. Alright, so now we actually arrive. And once again, we are inundated with data of how the island works.
How the sap works, how the technology in the island works. Almost exactly parallel to Skypiea.
And Whole Cake Island with the seducing woods.
Yeah.
Like, this happens every arc.
Odin needs to explain the crux, the mechanic of the arc.
Its texture, its flavouring, all that kind of stuff.
I think the seducing woods was to set up the mirror world, which is like the...
It's crucial.
Which is the key to the arc.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, we get to see how the sap works, how the coning works.
Yeah.
A little bit of the slavery stuff. It's kind of like...
We go to... Yeah.
It's kind of like Pleasure Island with like a disturbing, like, underbelly, dark place.
Because we understand that the Marine headquarters are close by and everyone's kind of on edge.
Yeah. And this is like the playground for the Celestial Dragons.
Yeah. That's why there's an amusement park
and
auction houses.
Auction houses and stuff
Do you think Mother Caramel had anything to do with the auction house on Shabondy, or did she just deal with...
I think she just dealt straight with CP0. Yeah.
Interesting to think about. Do we think there's more auction houses around the globe, or is Mingo kind of like the catalyst for that? Because we find out at the end of this arc that like the auction house collapsed.
Oh yeah, auction house collapsed. I don't think slavery, like, there's no slavery auction houses anymore.
I'd imagine there's a few lying about. Shabondy wouldn't be the only one. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's only there because the Celestial Dragons want it. Like, the government, it's illegal, but the government turned a blind eye to the celestial dragons, which is like a kind of a commentary on like the political climate.
Yeah, just quickly on the Shabondy thing. I feel like Shabondy is like the hub for One Piece. In some regard, like it's the one island that we go back to twice.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And it's interesting. Do you think we'll end up on Shabondy again? At like at the end, or like?
No, because
it seems like everyone like, I'd imagine like Rayleigh would be watching the final war at Shabondy, with everyone else.
Yeah, probably
something like that.
Well, we'll definitely go back to it, but yeah, we only did that island twice because the crew lost there.
Yeah,
they came back and won. So, just a bit of.
It's also like the closest island to Marijoa, so.
Yeah, other than Marineford.
Other than well, New Marineford.
Yeah, whatever.
So, it could be, like it could be a rendezvous point for like the revolutionaries and like the Straw Hats. And...
Well, it's the place to go before you go to Fishman Island.
Yeah.
Just because you need the coding, you need all the instructions to get down.
I'd imagine the final attack on Marijoa would be like. Because we can't go. There's no point going over the red line again.
No.
So, yeah. Anyway, I feel like
Rayleigh's
still
they
there.
would have to go back down. Well, they surely Luffy goes back to Fishman Island.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Unless like some.
And then all the fishermen come up to Shabondy.
Yeah. Maybe.
That's probably what's gonna happen.
Or like Marijoa or whatever, but. So.
Alright, so.
We get on the island. We learn about the tech.
Learn about what's going on with the Celestial Dragons.
And Hachi says that, you know, we need to find you guys a resin dude to put the resin on the ship.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we hear the words Rayleigh. And Rayleigh's a very mysterious character.
Yeah.
For the start, we don't know much about him. We just know he's a dude that coaches ships. He's very trustworthy.
Yeah.
We go to the bar with Shaki's bar. She rips people off. That's a deal.
Well, first of all, we're kind of introduced to the whole like slavery angle.
Yeah.
Before that, so this is like it's an interesting concept for Oda to try and tackle like a class above the law.
Yeah.
Because that's what the Celestial Dragons are.
I think
there are people above the law. I think it might be a commentary on like people that have more money than God, you know?
Yeah, but maybe when you think about like the Navy before Shabondy, did we actually hate the Navy? Or we just understood that their role was to keep order? We didn't understand that the Navy had this malicious kind of thing going for it. We saw that with Axe-Hand Morgan and things like that.
Yeah.
But when we find out about the Celestial Dragons, it kind of adds a different level to the Navy that like, and to the world government that's like.
Well, you got to remember though that the Navy isn't necessarily the Celestial Dragons.
They're the world government.
Well, the Navy's the military.
Yeah.
Of the world government, so they do what the world government says.
I think this is Oda cementing the fact that we should definitely hate the world government. Like, we're pretty close, but, like, this absolute disgusting display from the Celestial Dragons kind of cements...
I think we
just the abuse of power.
No, I think we shouldn't hate the Navy. We should hate the Celestial Dragons.
Mm.
Because it seems like they're the problem. And it seems like they're the main issue Dragon has.
Yeah. And I'd imagine it's the main issue everyone has, because everyone's always talking about, hey, you can't go against the Celestial Dragons.
Yeah.
This is... Christian, see, this is the thing. Why do we need to keep the Celestial Dragons happy if we have such a powerful force in the military?
Because that's the way the world works, man. Like, the Celestial Dragons are part of the Ancient Kingdom.
Do you think they have, like, an ancient weapon they can deploy if everything goes to shit, and that's, like, being held over the Celestial Dragons? Like, being held over the Navy?
They just have the power, man. Like, you don't have to be strong to have the power.
Yeah,
like, that's not how power works, alright?
I feel like in a world with, like, you got normal civilians and then you got dudes like Alkainu, which can, like, murder the entire country. It's a bit far-fetched to believe that, like...
They don't have any strong units.
A dude with, like, such great power would listen to such commands from a group of people that don't have anything to hold over them other than, like... prestige.
Like a king is only as strong as his men.
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily have to be powerful to rule.
Mm.
They just have to have that influence.
Right.
that they got by forming the world government.
I think remember when Doflamingo was talking about the secret of the world government? I think they have one of the ancient weapons that can do something like absolutely crazy that keeps everyone in line. Because for me, it's a bit much to put this fantasy world into like a thing of like they only have power because of their lineage.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of it. They're stupid. They're arrogant. They're completely unlikable.
Do you think
they have the power?
Do you think there's like a king, celestial dragon?
No, it's a community.
Right.
It's the 20 families.
I feel like we see a little bit of characterization of the celestial dragons. I feel like they'd all play like a game to stab each other in the back to gain ultimate power. I feel like those people wouldn't communicate with each other in a fair manner. We see Doflamingo's father.
Yeah, but he straight up denied. He straight up went from a god status to a commoner, and that's offensive to a celestial dragon.
Right.
They wear the suit. They don't want to even breathe the same air as the common people.
Right.
I think if they have something over the government, right, that just ruins the message of the celestial dragons.
All right. So we see the supernova first. Do you want to talk about the introduction of the supernovas, and then we'll get into the celestial dragon scene?
So what? Kizaru.
No, so we get to the island and we understand that there's this island is a bunch of where everyone.
Oh, Shaky tells them, yeah.
Yeah, Shaky tells them about the news.
Yeah.
And about have you heard about Edika's kid? He's on this island. He's only got a higher bounty than you because he's brutal.
Because he kills people.
Right, and then we cut to like I don't know a half a chapter of just introducing these supernovas.
Supernovas, yeah.
Interesting that.
Oda made up these characters in that chapter, straight up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's interesting. And I noticed specifically that Hawkins was like one of the main key focuses.
Yeah, I think Hawkins was supposed to play a bigger role in the overall story, but he just wasn't popular enough.
And we think he will, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Where have I got it? I've got it somewhere.
We'll get to that a little bit later.
No. So, in the Color Walk 7, Oda originally had Hawkins be one of the warlords.
Right.
So, if Hawkins was a more popular character, Oda's plan was to make him
a warlord.
A warlord.
After the time skip?
Oh, probably, because he's one of the new warlords, right?
Yeah.
So...
Hawkins very interesting, and we'll get to him in a little bit in more detail. Yeah. But, so we get to introduce to all these captains. We see Arouge and all those guys. Capone isn't highlighted at all.
He only gets like a page.
It's very small details with Capone, but we're intrigued by his ability.
Yeah.
And, beautiful fleshing out of the character in Whole Cake Island. I'm excited to see the other supernovas when we get them, except Apu.
Oh, he's so weird.
Apu's
character design is just like too much.
Zoro decides to, abandon the crew to just look around.
Didn't he get lost?
Yeah, he walks off to have a look around, and Chopper knows up like, you're definitely going to get lost. And he's like, nah, dog, I'm good. He gets lost, and he runs into a celestial dragon.
Yeah, he doesn't bow, right?
Chalios doesn't bow, and...
Because Zoro doesn't bow to anyone.
Zoro has no idea what's going on. None at all. He asks him for directions. The dude gets upset, shoots. Zoro's about to slash him. Bonnie comes in, saves him.
Bonnie. What a character. What a mystery.
Bonnie, what's her...
Why is her bounty higher than the Rouge's?
What's her role in the story? I don't understand, what's going on.
Why is her bounty higher than a Rouge?
She has kind of a broken ability. We don't know the parameters around it. We understand... I'd imagine there's parameters around how the age thing works.
It's got to be by touch, right?
It's got to be by touch, and I imagine there's a time limit on how long you're affected by the age.
Yeah, probably.
But
how does that work with lifespan? Because in One Piece, right?
Yeah.
You use your lifespan for devil fruit attack, big devil fruit attacks.
It depends on it depends on the devil fruit. Not every devil fruit requires massive.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
So It's just like a sacrifice for Odin to make attacks bigger than what
Yeah,
they
but
are.
what I'm saying is it time based, so it reverses the clock, or does it just change your body?
I think it's just a physical change, to be honest.
Yeah. Does it doesn't affect your like lifespan, soul, hockey thing?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I think it's just a physical thing, because we think about power scaling on the show,
Yeah.
and I imagine if that actually like changes your lifespan and it's permanent, it's a bit broken for her.
Yeah, she doesn't have a crew right now.
Yeah, we don't.
And she's still-
and she got easily captured by Blackbeard, so you'd imagine like
Her crew got decimated,
yeah.
and now she's like running around on her own.
Interesting for Bonnie.
Bonnie's a weird one. A lot of good Bonnie theories out there.
Anyway, we find out that the cat burglars, the kidnappers are looking for a mermaid to sell in an auction house. They steal her.
Cammy.
We go to the auction house. Luffy's like, we gotta save her. Everyone runs to this auction house. But we find out that...
Rayleigh's in there.
We find out, first of all, that Rayleigh's in there, which is...
Get actually to see the Rayleigh the first time.
Silver's Rayleigh. Everyone's... The giant
The giant he
is
helps
like,
out.
is like, what are you doing, old man? We know you're Rayleigh. Stop mucking about. And we get a report from the...
He's so...
We get a report from
Yeah.
the Navy talking to Garp, and the dude's like, we know Rayleigh's there, it's definitely him. Garp knows about his notorious gambling,
Yeah.
and he says, don't tell the Navy, we're too busy trying to fight Whitebeard at the moment,
Yeah, they're getting
or
ready
preparing for
it,
Whitebeard.
yeah.
And he says, I'll handle him myself, but he never turns up because of the events that happen.
Yeah.
Do you think Garp would have turned up at all, or he's just kind of like, just leave him alone?
I mean, he did say he was going to sort it out.
Sort it out by himself, or like sort it out by like sending someone to sort it out?
Who knows?
Just a baseless speculation.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What would have happened? I don't know. Maybe he would have turned up, had a fight.
Alright, so...
Would have we seen it? No.
I like how Nami's willing to part with all her money to save Cammy, a girl she's known for not very long.
I mean, here's the thing you have to realise about the Straw Hats Pirates. They're not good, they're not evil.
Right.
What they hate is people who are not free. They hate
Yeah.
people being captured, they hate all that stuff. They're all about freedom.
This is true.
The whole overarching theme of One Piece is freedom.
Yeah.
Luffy wants to be the freest man in the world.
Just interesting to see that Nami's willing to part way with cash when it's
Yeah.
in a crucial moment.
Yeah.
We enter the auction house, everyone sees Luffy, and they're like,
He's crazy.
Luffy, he's crazy, we've heard about this man.
Crazy.
We want to see this man.
And then
We
he
find out-
delivers.
And we also find out that, like, Law and Kid kind of have this, like, rivalry going on. Law gives him the finger.
Yeah. Because Law's edgy and cool.
Yeah, Law...
He wears jeans, guys. He's cool.
He's very edgy,
He's got tattoos, guys.
very fresh.
He's got eye makeup, guys.
I don't know if he's got eye makeup, I just think that's sick from...
I think
he's sick.
I think originally he had eye makeup.
Right.
But I think I would have toned it down for time skip.
Anyway, we get the famous scene with a punch. Hachi gets upset because Chelios buys Camille for 500 million berry. Now, we understand that the Celestial Dragons have infinite money.
500 million, right?
Yeah, 500 million. So, I'd imagine the government would be able to pay bounties of $1 billion and higher.
How does the economics of the One Piece world
We
work,
need
people?
someone with an economic background to
Please tell me.
to give us an understanding of how a one world currency would work. That's a tyranny.
Globalists, come out here and tell us how it would work. I want to hear
A
globalists.
tyrannical government with a one currency. Interesting that I'm pretty sure there's like infinite money just splashing around with the Celestial
Yeah, but
Dragons.
surely inflation exists.
I don't know if Frodo wants to go there with.
I'm just saying, like,
business.
basic economics. But, like, we'll move on.
So yeah, Hachi gets upset. He gets shot. Luffy fucks him up. Chelios up, and then
That
shit
guy's
goes
such
down.
a piece of shit.
He's just an annoying brat. He's-
See, this is what I mean by they can't have a strong guy.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of them.
Well, we see the potential that the Celestial Dragons have potential. We see that in Mingo.
Yeah, everyone has potential.
Yeah.
But, like, here's the thing. Like, they're supposed to be unworthy rulers.
Yeah.
They're unworthy. That's the whole point of
Now,
them.
people are probably screaming into the computers. What about the Gorosei? How strong are they?
Well, we don't even know.
Do you want to comment on the Gorosei for a little bit? Talking about
They're still under the Celestial Dragons.
yeah. And I think we talked about the Gorosei last week
I think we did.
in somewhat of detail than what we think they do.
Remember when people thought that the blonde one
Sanji's
was
father.
Judge? That was pretty funny.
Judge Top 5. So
Sure. Wait. Surely, right?
yeah,
Oh, only a Gorosei can change the bounty to only alive.
yeah. I don't know what people were thinking about that. Like, it's only a
Why?
it's only a bounty
Why?
poster. No one actually gives a fuck. Like Sanji in the
Like
scheme of
Sanji in the
things
grand
is like,
scheme of things is no
like
one.
a small fry.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even a captain. Like, it's not a big deal.
His bounty's like, what, 200?
It's like 177 now, so it was like
Yeah.
77. So you know one of the most famous scenes in One Piece, I'd say, that hit, beautifully animated,
Beautifully drawn in the manga.
very good, whole rare
Double page,
nothing
else on it.
single shot.
Double page single
Doesn't
panel.
happen often, but
Just,
I think Oda wanted to hammer home that Luffy's not happy with the Celestial Dragons. Then Christian shit hits the fan. We understand that Rayleigh comes out
and uses mystical haki
and
to
uses
break
his sweet haki.
the collar on Kami's.
Well, he doesn't use that. He knocks out all the guards with haki, and we see that Law's men almost get knocked out by
Law's
Rayleigh.
crew is so weak.
Yeah.
What is going on with Law's crew?
Penguin and whatever Satori, what is his name? Penguin,
Penguin
whatever.
and Machi or some shit. Yeah.
They almost get knocked out by Rayleigh's haki, which is interesting. Is that good for Rayleigh or is that bad for Law's crew?
That's just bad for Law. Law has a terrible crew. Like Beppo's like main like
And Gene Bart,
okay. Like
John Bart, whatever his name is.
Beppo's probably like the only competent guy there.
Yeah.
And you're Law who's broken, so
Yeah.
that's the interesting thing about the Supernova's crews, right? Only the captain is strong.
And I was noticing with
But
Capone when he
yeah.
was introduced, Vito, Guardi, any
Nowhere to be seen.
note are nowhere to be seen, which is interesting. I think when we see the Supernovas and their crews, we'll get actual like fleshed out new characters.
Yeah.
We see interesting like dudes on
Hawkins' crew.
not Hawkins' crew.
Oh,
on
we're gonna see that black cat, Mink.
There's a Black Cat Mink. I don't know if he's gonna make his return. Probably.
Well, he's got a name, so
Yeah.
I don't named him.
There's also like a skulls and dude on Kid's crew with like a stitched up neck and face and shit.
Yeah, because fucking kids' crew is all edge.
Yeah, Kid's crew is super edge. We find out that Killer's on Law's crew,
Yeah.
which is interesting. Could the Zora parallel? So, you know, Rayleigh uses the haki, knocks everyone out, classic. Everyone's shocked that Silver's Rayleigh, the legendary pirate, is on this island. What's he doing there? And I just want to, you know, Rayleigh to me looks like a New World design.
What do you mean by that?
He's hard. And by why I say hard, I mean his edges are hard. Oda
Yeah.
changed his art style in post time skip for harder edges and replaces the soft edges on most of his characters. Rayleigh is very hard edged. In the way that he's drawn, which is interesting. I think that Oda was preparing to introduce new characters that were going to go into the new world, into the post time skip, with new designs. We look at Law as well, pretty sharp, and Kid as well.
Capone's not.
Yeah, Capone's not, and he sort of changes with the art style, but it's not as drastic as, let's say, I don't know, Nami and Robin
And Luffy himself.
and Luffy himself.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to think about. Oda was probably planning for the art change somewhere around here.
Yeah.
That was just kind of like a side note about Rayleigh, but
Can we talk about how Rayleigh disarms the collar?
yeah, he just picks it up and throws it.
No, but like he disarms the collar on Kami's neck.
He gets the collar, takes it off quick enough, and the explosion happens over here.
It's a hey,
We don't understand
Haki-
how he does it.
mystical haki powers.
He just rips it off her neck somehow with one arm and throws it quick enough so the explosion doesn't blow up her
Yeah.
head, which is interesting. We don't know how he's doing it. I
So
imagine
he-
he's just super quick.
So he just breaks a lock off and throws it.
No, it's like a single motion. He grabs the collar
Yeah, I know,
and
but
rips
like-
it off.
It's so weird.
It is. Anyway, we see Rayleigh. He's hype.
Rayleigh's definitely hype.
All right, and you put him on
He's not-
a high tier.
You're just gonna bring this up every week, aren't you?
Garp
It's
and Kizaru remarked that they need a full military force to take out Kizaru, and they do not have the time to do it.
Yeah, because that's just hyping him.
Anyway,
That's just hyping him.
just something to think about for the future, Christian.
I'm definitely thinking about it.
Yeah.
But you want to put him in a crazy tier.
So we escape the. We see Law and Kid's powers for the first time shortly after the auction house.
Yeah.
Outside the front. Everyone's like. Luffy's like, you guys got weird powers, and everyone's like, you got the weirdest one, which I don't think is true. I think Law has a
I think
weirdest one.
Law has the weirdest one.
It's interesting how Oda sets up Law's powers. It's kind of like, what the fuck is this? We kind of just accept it now, but it's like so weird. It's one of the weirdest powers in One Piece. One of the broken powers in One Piece.
So broken.
The room is only there to nerf him. To make
Yeah.
him reasonable.
Yeah. Because he's broken.
Do you think without his Devil Fruit, his swordsman skills are good, or you just think he has a sword to use
Yes.
his Devil Fruit?
He has to be, right? He's a captain of a supernova crew. He has to be at least
Now the
competent.
thing with me is for Law, I find him like the most slowest character in One Piece. He can instantly teleport, but like his attack speeds aren't quick.
He fought Doflamingo.
The
One of the
speed-
fastest characters in the show.
The Speed Demon.
Yes.
Sky Demon.
The Sky Demon.
Alright.
He's one of the fastest guys.
It's just interesting to think about that Law.
Mingo can dodge Gear 4.
You know what Law is? He's the ultimate support character.
Yeah.
He's there for utility. He's there to move people around, instantly teleport them, that kind of thing. I don't see him getting into the thick of it.
I like how like he couldn't do the personality switch on Mingo.
Yeah.
And, like no, he couldn't do any of his own like broken powers against
Yeah.
a strong opponent.
Do we think that Law has... Have you seen Law have armored haki? Have you seen that? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Or observational.
No.
Interesting. Do you think he's got haki, or do you think he's just got a broken Devil Fruit that's good enough?
Yeah, he's probably just got a broken. Like, who told him haki? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what I mean with like all these crews. Like, who told him haki?
Well, with
You
the
can't just like hone your haki skills without knowing what it is.
yeah, Luffy's kind of picking up at this point, but we understand that it takes a long time to get haki.
Yeah, and Rayleigh told him, like, instructed him how to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like
People
it's not like,
awaken it.
it's not like Super Saiyan.
People-
you can awaken it.
It's kind of like Super Saiyan.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean. Like you can't just awaken coding haki.
Yeah,
That's a trained ability.
Rayleigh says it takes a very long time if you don't have instructions on how to do it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I want to talk about Kizaru, and before we get off this, I want to talk about Kizaru, and I want to talk about... No, I want to talk about
Vegapunk.
Rayleigh in Shaki's bar. I want to talk about Roger and that kind of thing. Now,
Let's go.
let's go off with Roger and Rayleigh first, and Shanks.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that Shanks put in a good word to Rayleigh, so Rayleigh is extraordinarily interested in Luffy.
Yep.
And this is probably sets up Rayleigh's interest in this generation. I think Shanks said to him, "Can you train him if you see him?" Do you think that happened? Do you think Shanks requested Rayleigh to train him? Or was Rayleigh just so intrigued by Luffy and his will
He
and
remembers
the captain?
he remembers his captain and he sees that in Luffy, so
Yeah.
he wants to help him out.
Right.
That's what I think it is. Did Shanks tell him to train him? Probably not. I don't know about that.
Shanks didn't mention
Yeah.
Luffy though. I mean, it seems like Shanks tells everyone he meets about Luffy.
Yeah, because Luffy's the main character and Shanks is the
I
god
guess
king.
everyone asks him, like, mate, what happened to your arm? And
Yeah,
he has
it's
explained,
like,
he has
oh, yeah,
explained every
yeah.
time, there's a kid called Luffy.
Yeah.
So we understand that Roger was cursed for 4 years with a disease.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the disease. Crockers joins the crew.
Yep.
3 years pass. He conquers the Grand Line with his crew.
Yes.
Then, very interestingly, there's a year
Gap.
without his crew disbanded. And then he gets executed. What do you think he did in that year gap?
He made Ace. Passed on his legacy.
Yeah.
So, obviously, that takes time.
Right.
And he probably went to go ride the path to Raftel and set up the One Piece.
Set up
Because
the One
we
Piece.
saw it in Skypiea.
Do you think he had a massive galleon full of gold and just going backwards and forth, loading it onto...
Oh, there's definitely all his treasure.
Onto Raftel.
All that treasure.
Now, we understand that the Roger Pirates know about Raftel and where it is.
They know the secret, yeah.
And they know the history. Do you think... Was Buggy on that crew or was Shanks on that crew when they... I imagine they were.
Yeah.
Because there was no mention of them not being
But
there.
Buggy has no interest in the One Piece, right?
He's after Captain John's treasure.
Yeah.
What is it?
Probably a red pony leaf.
Probably something important
Yeah.
that, like, pays off in the end.
It'll pay off, because, like, Luffy's armband in Impale Down is apparently a map to Captain John's treasure.
Yeah.
So...
It's
Ooh.
interesting.
It's very
It'll probably get paid off soon. Buggy tends to, like, turn up in post-arcs for no reason.
It's true. There's something going to go on with that treasure.
So, I think, like, every third post-arc he turns up is like, I'm Buggy, I'm here, trying to find the treasure.
Yeah. Anyway,
So, yeah. There's a gear gap, which is interesting. We might find out what happened in that gap.
I think it's for for Roger to set up, because he wrote that message in Skypiea, so maybe he went back to all the important parts in the world and gave his message out.
Yeah. Who knows? The important question that need to be answered will be answered eventually. Robin asks about the history of the world. Rayleigh says, look, I could tell you, but you're probably not ready.
Yeah.
And she's content with that answer and says, I will go on this journey. Usopp foolishly asks about the One Piece. Luffy's having none of it.
Usopp.
He wants to go on the adventure. He wants to be the freest man on the seas.
Was he the freest man in the seas?
Which is what Roger says.
Exactly.
Also, in the Shanks scene, Luffy really badly wants to see Shanks.
Yeah.
Can't wait for this moment.
The reunion.
The reunion of Luffy and Shanks and probably the training arc going into it. Shanks, Luffy, back to back, rush hour style. You go this way, I go that way. Is your body ready?
No, it's not. No, it's not. When I see Shanks go all out, I'll probably just like transcend into the universe.
Christian, what do you think what are your predictions on the sale volumes of the Shanks turning up again? Do you think we'll get to like a ridiculous record amount of volumes sold for that specific volume when Shanks turns up?
It'll be like 10 million volumes.
Because every One Piece fan is, please, where's Shanks?
Please give a shit.
It's like 20 years of hype. It's going to be like 30 years of hype.
The legend of Shanks continues.
Anything else you want to talk about this bar scene, Christian? Interesting that Shaki, 40 years, hasn't been on the seas. How old is she? We never really find out.
She's got to be at least like
60?
50, 55.
60, 55, something like that.
Yeah.
She says she had her fix on the seas. I'd imagine she was on there for a fair while. It's kind of hinted at that she might have been involved in Roger Pirates in some way. There's always a lot of triple dots and triple dot exclamation
She's a
marks.
very mysterious character.
And a lot of thinking with Shaki, which is interesting. I think she knows a lot more than what she gives on.
100%. She's talking to Rayleigh all day.
Yeah, Rayleigh has all the secrets that we're missing. Anything else about Shabondy? About this specific scene, rather? Anything else you want to say about it?
Well, isn't this where we find out that the straw hat belonged to
Was
Roger?
from Roger? Yes, I believe so.
So,
Actually, no, we don't. This is not the scene.
is that after time skip?
That is after the time skip.
After time skip, yeah.
We understand that Shanks... We still understand that it's Shanks' hat at this point.
Yeah.
Do you think that was Oda's intention from the start to give Roger the hat? To make Roger wear that hat?
Probably not. I don't think so.
Because, yeah. In the initial parts of One Piece, we see Garp with the hat. before, like the official One Piece.
Oh
first
yeah,
one,
like Romance Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Oda wanted to save Shanks for the first official chapter.
Yeah, because he's
So-
that hype.
Because he's...
And we noticed when reading the volumes that Shanks is on every book
Wait,
and
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa,
character
whoa,
arc.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
What?
We're saving that.
Oh, is that a
Later.
part of the show? Anyway, Christian,
It's like he doesn't
people
read
want
the
to
show
hear our
notes.
thoughts about Kizaru, about
Kizaru is
Kuma.
so broken. This is one of the great scenes in One Piece. Kizaru turns up and just starts wrecking shop.
yeah,
He just turns up. He's like, "What's going on here? I'm just gonna destroy everyone."
yeah.
Kicks people in the head. Have you been kicked at the speed of light? Yes, he is the speed of light.
He is definitely at the speed of light. He states that his kick is at the speed of light. You don't need to do your weird math to figure that out in the anime, because whatever.
I mean, hey, how are you supposed to draw light speed in the anime?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, how are
mean-
you supposed to do that?
single frames would help instead of like.
Yeah, but you know, on
Anyway.
a pad.
Kizaru,
Kizaru, very impressive.
very impressive.
He earns his spot
he
in the
earns his
high
spot.
tier.
He
He earns his spot in the high tier.
he's broken beyond limits. He
Yes.
puts Uruge through like 5 buildings.
Most
one
satisfying kick in the whole series,
brutal.
where he just destroys Apu.
Bro.
I hate that.
Does his light mirror and just murders Apu through a building. We see the supernovas
Absolute destruction.
do their abilities at this point when the Navy's after them. We see
Mm-hmm.
Capone with his calcium fruit, very weird. We
It's
see
very cool. It's a cool fruit. I like it.
It's
I
a
like
cool
the
fruit. We see Aruge doing his weird stuff. We don't understand what his power is at
So
the
it's
moment.
clearly some sort of karma fruit.
Some kind of revenge, get bigger when you take damage kind of
I
thing.
assume it's karma because he's a monk. You know, he's a Buddhist monk.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then we see Apu do some weird stuff with his music. No one cares.
How does that work?
Apu, no one cares about you. Go away.
His design is too much.
The thing is,
His design,
I wouldn't hate him that much, but I just hate long arm people.
you just don't like long
I just
arm
hate
people.
them. Like, Ideo hides his shame.
Bit of racism going on here.
Hides his shame. I hate the double jointed arms.
They're like swoopy whoopy arms.
They're not necessary.
They're very strange.
Like, long legs don't have 2 knees.
Oda's
Anyway.
a weird man.
Anyway, enough of my hatred on Apu.
He's racism. I don't like Apu, but I don't like him because he's over designed.
Keyboards and his head's weird.
His mouth's like weird.
His hair's all weird. What's going on?
He's wearing like Chinese outfit as well.
Well, he's from kind of.
Yeah, I know, but like he's got like so much going on.
Yeah, it's a bit much. We see Drake transform. Alright, I want to see more from Drake to render my opinion on Drake.
Apparently he's strong, man.
We've already seen Law and Kid, so they're not involved in this scene. They are in the anime, which is weird because I'm pretty sure Oda didn't put him there because they, like, Kid would have just picked up the PX unit with his magnet abilities.
Did the anime? I don't think the anime.
The anime added this scene in with Kid
Law.
shooting metal at the pacifista. Like
Okay.
Kid and Law beating a pacifista.
Alright.
Law's crew is just like beating up goons as they run to their ships.
Yeah.
Law asked Gene Bart to join his crew. He's like, cool.
Does-
Gene Bart used to be a captain.
Yeah. Luffy,
He was
Law,
a
and
slave.
Kid all attack, right?
Attack what?
Navy goons.
Yeah, Navy goons, but Luffy is with his crew at this point, and Law and Kid are running off when
Yeah.
Kizaru turns up in the PS units. We see Sentomaru earlier in a kind of a shadow. Now we see him in his full glory, as it were. We
Sumo.
find out that he is the direct bodyguard to Mr. Vegapunk.
Where is Vegapunk?
Vegapunk, interesting character. We see the PX units. Christian's power scaling, interesting with the PX units. Pretty good.
100% correct, once again. I'm too good. I'm too good at power scaling.
And we
to be
understand that the
wrong.
PX units are extraordinarily expensive as a battleship.
Very expensive.
Do you think that money is well spent in
Yes.
the One Piece world?
Can't bring a battleship on land, can you?
I guess, but like in the New World, they're trashed here.
What are you talking about?
The PX units in the New World.
Most people in the New World are still trash.
Yeah, but who's do you think they use these PX units as
A
like
PX unit could like destroy Brownbeard, and Brownbeard's in the New World.
right?
So like, yeah, they're worth it.
Do you think these PX units just like accompany G unit as well, or are they just
Just like special
are
weapons.
they just with like Sentomaru's like weird task force. Do you think he's testing the PX units
yeah,
here for the first time?
pretty sure he says that.
Yeah.
He's testing the units out. Like, that's why he brought them.
When do you think Vegapunk's gonna come into the story, Christian?
Well, might be this post arc.
Yeah. Interesting. What do you think he's gonna look like?
Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
Okay.
That's what I imagine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
We kind of already saw his design a little bit.
we understand that Sir Tomorrow's got Haki, Armin Haki.
Yep.
Fucks up Luffy.
Yeah.
Oda goes out of his way to tell us that Luffy's a robot body and this blunt force shouldn't be able to hurt him, but it does.
Yeah, because
I think that's repeated like 3 times.
Yeah.
The crew does a combination attack to get rid of a PX unit. Nice work. They knock it out once, and then
gets back up.
It gets back up.
So these pacifistas are pretty strong, man.
Pretty strong.
But
They damage him quite heavily.
You can, yeah, I know, but if you can manufacture these units, they're very valuable,
Right.
in a battle, because you're pretty much manufacturing something better than a regular Navy goon.
How expensive do you think
And you have to train those goons.
Frankie's
you have to
Shogun
feed those.
is?
You have to feed those goons.
Yeah.
Might be just more cost effective to just make endless amounts of pacifistas.
How expensive do you think Frankie's general is compared to the PX units? Because I'd imagine the general's far better.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably like double the price.
And you'd imagine Vegapunk is capable of creating absolutely ridiculous weapons.
Yeah, 100%.
So, we'll get to Vegapunk in a minute in the post arc of this arc. We're talking about Frankie.
Yeah.
So, Kizaru PX units. Rayleigh stops Kizaru in a great scene where Kizaru is about to murder Zoro. Zoro is still wounded from
Kuma.
From Kuma. Any power scaling from this arc is null and void from Zoro. He's absolutely still fucked from Kuma.
Okay.
So yeah, the PX unit and Kizaru and Sentomaru, they're all after the Straw Hats. It's all very bad. Rayleigh comes in, blocks the kick. Kizaru's like, so they finally come out of hiding, and Rayleigh says, well, take the bounty off my head, and everything will be fine. How much is Rayleigh worth?
He's got to be at least 2 billion.
It's got to be a stupid amount of money.
It's got to be at least 2 billion.
Second-hand man to the right. Second-hand man to the Pirate King.
The government want to erase Roger from history.
Kizaru says, your sins cannot be erased.
Yeah.
He also states that he needs an entire fleet to take out. Well, not an entire fleet. He says he needs more men and more time and more military might to take out.
Mate, Kizaru does not have
and Kizaru's
a day to fight.
And Kizaru's like, I wasn't expecting this much trouble.
Mate, Kizaru can't get wounded before the battle at Marineford, right? He can't go all out.
I actually think he specifically says, Rayleigh, you should be on the high tier.
No, he doesn't say that.
Yeah.
Actually, he doesn't say that. Because Rayleigh's not in the high tier.
It's crazy.
Because Kizaru mid-diffs him going all out.
So, interesting for Rayleigh, he cuts the light of Kizaru, which cuts Kizaru's face. You see a little cut mark on his face.
Haki.
Rayleigh states that he hasn't used a sword in a long time, and then they do a nice lightsaber sword duel.
Yeah.
And then they're running from the PX unit. Luffy gives the order to split away, and then
Kuma turns up.
But first, hang on. Shaki gives them a Viva card before this, because they're going to split up.
Yeah.
As the 3D 2Y situation starts.
Yeah.
Kuma turns up, and everyone's like, it's the real one. Fuck. They take a very long time to deduce that the PX unit isn't real Kuma.
Yeah.
So Kuma turns up, and he starts blasting them away.
On purpose.
Now, we see that he talks to Rayleigh with Kizaru, but we don't know
something.
We don't know what much he says. We find out later what he says.
Yeah.
He's so fast, he's able to talk between mid-combat between Rayleigh and Kizaru.
Yeah.
And get out the way. It's crazy.
Kuma's really strong.
What's the deal? Christian, tell me the deal with Kuma's Devil Fruit and like how he just teleports. Because
he hits himself and reflects himself.
It's just like, and it's like infinite range. It's like a retarded distance that he can make people fly.
Yeah. And it's pinpoint accurate.
I'd imagine Armored Haki negates the fucking reflection, but
maybe not.
Because like it'd be kind of broken to face him and just get reflected to the other side of the map.
Well, yeah, he has to block you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he has to use
Because
his
he has to use
hands.
his hands.
Interesting.
So
Yeah, so Kuma
tricky.
blasts him away. Luffy's very upset, and that kind of concludes the arc with them getting flown away.
split up. What an arc! What a fantastic!
It's such a
arc.
fast-paced arc. We learn so much. We learn about the underground
A lot
system.
of great action.
Mingo, you know, it's the era of Smile.
Mate, Oda had the New World set up already.
He was raring to go.
He was
He was ready to go.
steaming.
We see, then we see the Straw Hats get split up on their individual islands. Luffy goes to Amazon Lily.
Yep.
Frankie goes to a island where Vegapunk's labs were.
Yep.
He remarks that the research notes have weapon details and human cell research.
Judge.
That's a judge call.
Is that a judge calls that the lineage factor?
That's probably the lineage factor, and maybe Judge's and Vegapunk's old labs, maybe.
Maybe.
It's on the Grand Line, it's not in the West Blue. But
Yeah.
who knows the history between those two.
Pretty much.
Do you think Judge is coming back in some way with the Vegapunk? Maybe like a flashback of Judge?
Yeah, probably in flashback form.
Do you think he's going to look exactly like Sanji? In the flashback when he was young?
He's gotta have that butt chin.
Yeah. I
Like
guess.
Sanji with like a massive like butt chin.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we see, you know, Zoro begging
Mihawk.
to train Mihawk. We don't see what happened to
Only
Sanji at all.
bows. He only bows to Mihawk. Now people don't like this scene.
He
think
does
it
it.
cheapens it.
Yeah, he does it for Luffy.
I know, but people don't like it. I
So-
don't get it.
Because they want Zoro to
Never
beat
back down.
Mihawk.
They won't.
Never back down.
Never back down. Never bend the knee.
We don't see anything about Sanji. Otis saving that for like flashback Hell's memory deals.
Oh, we see a bit.
I don't even think we see him getting knocked anywhere. It's ignored. We see
Surely we see it after the time.
we see Robin. We see
We will
Luffy.
100% see Sanji.
We see it. I'll get to that in a minute. We see Robin, Zoro, Frankie,
Yeah.
Luffy,
Yeah.
Usopp. That's it. We see the rest after the time skip. And we see Sanji's flashback. I'm pretty sure in Punk Hazard. With the Hell's memories.
It's a Fishman Island.
And in Fishman Island. We piece that together because we see
No.
we see the flashback with Nami
Yeah.
in the
Well, after the time skip.
in the post Shabondy.
Yeah.
And we don't see much about Sanji. We only see the new Karma turn up and kick heads in. And we understand that Sanji's got this new quirk about him. We
Yeah.
find out more details in Fishman Island about Hell's
Yeah.
memories. Interesting note that I don't know, like, what do you think about this arc, Christian? Because it's a very good arc. It's quick.
It's very good because it's very different.
Yeah.
It's a very different arc to Oda style. And we'll get to
Shabondy
that.
Archipelago.
Great arc.
Final thoughts on this first section of Shabondy, and what do you want to say? What
Well,
what is it about this that you love the most?
here's the thing, right? We get so much information about Roger,
Yeah.
about Haki,
Yeah.
about how the world works.
Yeah, continuing the idea of what is Haki.
It also like fleshes out the world with all the supernovas.
Yeah.
A lot of great action, a very fast pace.
I'd suggest people go reread it just to get information
Yeah, it's a great read anyway.
and to understand a
It's
little
really
bit
arc.
more about Hawkins, which we'll get into in a little bit. What would you give it out of 10, Christian? We've been rating the
9 out of
arcs
10.
here. I would say 9 out of 10 as well.
9 out of
Maybe
10,
a little
I-
bit higher, maybe like 9.3, 9.4.
I don't look at a point. What does that even mean?
9.345, something
Yeah,
like that.
well, you give 1.2678 whatever.
Good arc, very good arc. I don't know what my favorite arc in One Piece is. Maybe more research would be required, but
I really like Water 7.
Water 7's good. I like the haste that this arc takes.
Yeah.
Just the speed is so good. So we go through Marineford, we go through Impel Down, all that stuff. We go through the
Time
time
skip.
skip.
Loot.
And we end up on the other side with the Straw Hats. We see Mr. Black trying to impersonate Luffy.
Yeah.
And all the Straw Hats together. Interesting that Luffy is on a completely different level.
Yeah.
You know, Zoro, Sanji, Chopper, there's a lot of gags.
That Rayleigh training is crazy.
Yeah. And just talk about Rayleigh for a little bit and like what haki means. Because I was reading it and I got very good insight into what haki actually is. And I think the community is getting confused as to what they think it is. Ladies and
Definitely
gentlemen, go
agree.
read that scene with Haki and Luffy and how the exact words that Rayleigh says. He states that you can train armament and you can train observational, but you cannot train the strength of conquerors.
Yeah.
The only way conquerors get stronger is
when you
if
get stronger.
the will of the person is stronger.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be this kind of awakened form with conquerors. Supreme kings. We find out that observational is the presence and prediction of auras. That means attacks, places, people, and things, and the sensories around that. Now, Christian people, I think, are getting confused with Katakuri.
With the future side.
They think that it's like a completely separate
It's not.
ability.
It's not.
It's just Katakuri having better observation than Luffy.
Yeah.
Let's give let's just throw a random number out there for Luffy. Let's say he sees 0.3 seconds
Ahead of time.
but it's not really ahead of time. It's sensing the will of the attack.
Yeah.
So he senses the will of the attack 3 seconds ahead of time or whatever. Not 3 seconds, 0.3 seconds,
Whatever.
Let's just make up a number, 0.3 seconds.
Yeah.
All Katakuri is doing is he's predicting that same thing more. Let's say 2 seconds. That's the only difference, ladies and gentlemen. There's no upper limit to observe. There's no second level.
The only caveat I would give to that is that Luffy's doing it instinctively.
Yeah.
Where Katakuri can actually like visualize it in his mind.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
there's a couple of sections of like observation that people focus on. Like we see Usopp's version and we see Fujitora's version.
Yeah.
So just remember that go read it for yourself and try and unravel it in your mind. The official translation, very good. That's what we're going on, and if we were Japanese, we'd go with that. The direct word from the Goda. But, you know, we're mere plebs here.
Yeah.
So, the post-arc is interesting because we see how the Straw Hats have grown. Usopp's got these weird plane things. Nami's got...
How do you feel about Usopp's playing things?
How do I feel about him? I feel like they have utility. I want to see him use a lot more, like, explosives and, like, fire and stuff. Fishman Island obviously has, like, more weird plant stuff, but the utility's there. I like it. I just don't like him using it in combat. I'd like to see him use, like, more explosives and things like that. And gas gadgets like he used to.
Yeah.
Maybe some more impact stuff, some dial stuff, because it's kind of gone away from Usopp.
Yeah.
He's using his, like, plant stuff. Nami's got electric abilities. Frankie, everyone is excited about Frankie.
The whole crew.
Now, people weren't excited about his design. I like it.
It makes him more obvious that he's a robot.
Yeah.
Or a cyborg. And it's because I reckon it's cool. It's a little bit weird at first.
I think people didn't like it because of the hair.
Yeah.
But then he, like, instantly grew his hair back.
The cannon hair is really cool.
It's the best haircut.
I mean, it's the best haircut for Frankie.
In One Piece.
In One Piece. It's going that far. Alright. I'll agree. It's great.
What else? We see, you know, the weird not Daz Bones,
It's the one.
Delos Black, whatever his name is. They're impersonating the Straw Hats. No one knows where the Straw Hats are. People think they're dead. They're not dead. He's trying to recruit pirates for his crew. He only wants the strongest, etc., etc. We see Sentomaru being like, "You're not a Straw Hat. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
He fucks him up with his axe. And then Luffy gets found out. We see a nice conquerors first, though, from Luffy. We understand that Luffy is able to use conquerors, but he seemed unable to use it in Whole Cake Island.
That's what I was about to say. Where's the Conquerors in Whole Cake Island?
He could have taken out all those chess pieces with conquerors. Like,
where is it?
Come on, just use it.
Where's the Conquerors?
So, Luffy defeats the PX unit one hit.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Jet pistol.
Everyone's excited. We
Dodges the beams.
Dodges the beams with his
Observational.
Zoro and Sanji cut another one.
Yep.
Cut and kick another one, and that dies. And then we, board the ship.
And then, it's over.
And then we leave. Rayleigh says his goodbyes.
Rayleigh informs the viewer about the hat.
Yep. We see yeah, when they leave, he's kind of thinking about it. Rayleigh pulls out his sword, cuts a line in the sand for the Navy not to run.
Yeah.
And, that's about it. And then we cut to the other supernovas at around... When do you want to talk about when we see the supernovas in the New World? When is it exactly?
It's when they about to hit... No, when is it? We only really see them after they get to the New World. So after Fisherman Island, we see them.
Now, Christian's found something interesting about Hawkins that we'll get into, and our theory about how we're going to kill Kaido.
This adds to the Grand Kaido theory.
The Grand Kaido theory. Christian, what have we found out about Hawkins that's interesting?
Okay, so when Hawkins gets to the New World, he encounters Brownbeard, right?
Yeah.
And what does he do to Brownbeard? He takes away... He cripples him. He can't use his legs anymore.
Weird voodoo magic, ladies and gentlemen.
Voodoo magic, and he's going to use it against Kaido.
We know that he's got this weird, voodoo puppet form.
Wicker Man form.
That can, absorb damage and reflect it on other people.
Yeah.
Now,
he probably needs, an effigy of Kaido, and then he can, fuck around with it.
I believe that Hawkins and Law are going to be crucial in the takedown of Kaido. Devil Fruit bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. This is One Piece.
It's going to be a massive brawl.
Gimping. It's going to be a gimping of Kaido hardcore. He's not going to be able to prepare for these weird Devil Fruits that he has no idea what they're going to do. And he's still going to
knock out half of them.
Yeah, he's going to beat the shit out of Kid. Yeah. He's going to beat the shit out of Capone. Etc, etc. He's going to beat a lot of them down. But we think that the key points and the key figures to take down Kaido... Hawkins, Law, and Luffy.
Maybe
everyone else
a crew above.
Yeah, everyone else is just straight brawlers, and you don't straight brawl Kaido.
That's true.
You got to use your Devil Fruits. You got to
strategize.
And we know that Hawkins has seen Kaido beforehand in the very good.
We don't know where he is.
We don't know where he is, but we understand his counterparts with Kaido in various ways.
Yeah.
Kid's all fucked up.
Apu's
bent the knee and joined. So we'll have information on Kaido.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine Hawkins is around somewhere.
Yeah.
And Drake's around. People say that Kaido is such an immense physical man that a brawl won't work.
Yeah, they have to keep him.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think of our Hawkins theory. So,
to be clear, right, Hawkins uses his voodoo powers to cripple
Brownbeard's legs.
Brownbeard's yellow legs, and he's going to use that to cripple
He's
Kaido
going to use
somehow.
some voodoo magic to take away Kaido's strength or abilities or legs or arms. Something's going to happen, and then Law's going to come in and do his law bullshit.
Going to do Gamma Knife, going to get rid of the immortality, whatever.
Do you think people will be satisfied?
It's the only way to take him down. Yeah. Without a bullshit, fairy tale power punch.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think people will be satisfied with that. It makes sense.
So
it's cool. People using their abilities effectively.
Yep.
It's fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, all we do on this podcast is talk about how good one is going to be. When we get there...
We're adding to
the problem.
To the problem. But, you know what?
We're all excited One Piece fans here.
I'm excited. I'm excited for one.
Christian, anything else you want to say about
Shabondy?
About the supernovas? Any tidbits, any details that we missed?
No, I'm alright. I'm good.
You alright?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I think we'll move on to the next topic.
I'll show you Shanks.
And what do you have for us this week, Christian? How strong is Shanks?
Of course. As always. How strong is Shanks, right? He's the God King. He's the strongest.
Yeah.
That's how strong Shanks is.
We know this already.
Evidence this week. Shanks transcends the manga panels.
Right.
And appears at the start of every volume on the first page. He appears in that info sheet with the crew.
And the characters.
And the characters in that volume. And he's always there. He's so important. He's so important to the story.
Crucial to the story.
He's at the start of every volume.
Oda must have him there.
Because he's the God King.
He is the God King.
He's the God King. Alright? He has to be on every volume.
Do you have anything else for us this week, Christian?
No.
Or is that all you have to say?
Shanks is the God King. That's all I have to say.
So, we're going to move on to the next topic. The
Power Scale.
Now, Christian, the power scale. Interesting deal going on.
You gonna talk about Raleigh this week again?
Look, I've talked about Rayleigh enough. Christian is not
Raleigh
convinced.
stays there.
Maybe we need more from Rayleigh to move him up.
Yes.
Now, Christian,
What you brought?
interesting last week we put Garp on
The
power
rifle
scale.
high tier.
We arrived at high tier, higher than Rayleigh, controversial. I'd say.
I wouldn't say controversial.
Now, Christian, who do you think I'm going to go for this week?
Hype. Someone hype.
Yeah.
Someone crazy. Who?
Who have I chosen this week?
Who have you chosen?
Christian, I've chosen the Buddha Man himself.
Sengoku.
Sengoku. Garp's protege. His partner, as it were. Not his protege.
Okay. Yeah, his partner, yeah.
His partner, the Fleet Admiral of the Navy. Thoughts on Sengoku, the Buddha fruit, human model devil fruit. Interesting that Chopper
Mythical.
got screwed out of that one.
Yeah.
But do you think
This
there's,
is going to be interesting,
do you
right?
think there's a human model only?
Yes, and it's Kaido.
Right.
We'll go. That's a different story. So, are we talking after time skip?
Sure, we'll
go after time skip.
Present day.
Present day Sengoku.
We didn't see much from Marineford.
We actually did see quite a bit. See, I'm struggling here, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to put him high tier.
Yeah.
Because he's overpowered devil fruit.
Yeah.
He's the Navy Fleet Admiral.
And he's pretty much equal to Garp.
And he's pretty much equal to Garp. He destroyed Burgess and most of the Blackbeard crew.
Yeah.
Right? Blackbeard used the Quake fruit to counter it. He doesn't really even get damaged in Marineford.
Doesn't do much.
Doesn't do much, but he doesn't get damaged.
Guarding Ace.
Yeah.
Thoughts? You're gonna put him high, surely.
I'm putting him high,
What are
baby.
you struggling with at the moment? Do you think
Because-
you're gonna bring up the old man factor again?
I just don't know a few key factors.
Right. What do you need?
I don't understand his stamina.
Right.
I don't understand his endurance.
Right.
What's that situation?
You
like?
understand he's in mythical zone.
Yes, that makes him extraordinarily broken.
Yeah. And a god.
Yeah, I'm putting him high tier.
High tier.
I don't think it's a...
You know what? I'm happy with high tier. We haven't seen much from Sengoku at all. Do you think we'll see anything more from Sengoku?
Probably at the end of the story.
Yeah.
Maybe he's at the final war.
With Garp?
Yeah, them...
I want to see Garp and Sengoku back to back again.
Them doing the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Just talking...
Just like old dudes talking
Yeah.
about their generation.
Yeah.
So we're happy with Hi this week, Christian. Not much debate going on. If you want to, talk to us about the power scale, it'll be on screen. You can have a look on that power scale. Maybe, if you have qualms, let us know.
Mate, my power scale is 100%
We established
correct.
that Enru is perfectly power scaled last week.
Pacifist is perfectly scaled.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
What do you mean it's pretty good?
It's pretty good.
It's perfect.
All right. Christian, what have you brought for us this week on the power scale?
Now, this is going to be very interesting, right?
Yep.
Because we've already talked about this character a lot.
Okay.
We had a whole topic about this character.
Right.
His name is Whitebeard.
Now, Christian, you brought us Whitebeard. What do you want to talk about? What era of Whitebeard are we talking about? We're talking about Marineford Whitebeard.
He's dead, so we're talking about Marineford Whitebeard.
Marineford Whitebeard. Now, Christian, people are going to be bored by this topic because they're like, he's clearly going to be in the Yonko tier.
Maybe he isn't.
All right, so what do you give us your thoughts about Whitebeard?
Okay, I've already stated these thoughts in the previous episode.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, can old Whitebeard be an admiral in single combat? That's the question I give to you.
1-on-1 single combat. Can he
Admiral.
be an admiral?
That's my question to you.
Does
right
it matter
here.
on the admiral, in your opinion?
No. Doesn't
Yes,
matter.
I think he could.
He would win that fight, but it would be high diff, right? High difficulty, he would win that fight.
He's such a brutal tank.
He is. He's very brutal.
I'm not saying he won't take any damage, but like his
Mid-
Quake
mid-
fruit is ridiculous, and undistracted Quake fruit could be brutal.
It brutalized okay, that's for sure.
And like,
I just want to know is he the weakest in the top tier?
Well, he was old and sick, so I imagine so.
But does he deserve to be in the top tier?
I think he does just based on his Devil Fruit.
Just basically Devil Fruit alone.
Yeah.
Alone.
Because it's silly. He's tilting seas and creating tsunamis.
I'll buy that.
It's a silly Devil Fruit.
I was going to bring it up because I think it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Could a fresh Akainu
Right.
and a fresh Whitebeard, who would win that fight?
It's a thought, you know, and I want to say that Whitebeard would,
Yeah.
just based on the brutality that he did to Akainu.
Yeah. But he lost half his face in that fight.
He did.
So a high diff fight, right?
He was also fucked from before. So we
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. I would say, I don't know, medium high diff.
High diff fight? It would be a high diff. I reckon it would be a high diff fight for him.
All right.
So what do you say? You say it's top tier?
I'm saying he's top tier. I'm comfortable with top tier.
Comfortable top
Just
tier.
because of the silly Devil Fruit
Yeah.
and the silly stamina endurance.
Alright. Top tier? I think it's interesting. So we've established what makes you top tier, right?
Right.
So he's close to the bottom of top tier, where Alcaino is the top of the high tier, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So we've established
Yeah.
what that means.
So, Akainu and Whitebeard pretty close.
Pretty close, but we're putting Whitebeard on the
Above.
higher tier.
Is that all for today with the Power Scale Christian?
Yeah, pretty good one. All hype this week.
Right. Let me just Wellsworth theory this week.
Theory this week: Caesar Clown joins the crew.
Now, Christian, we haven't seen Caesar the Clown in a while, but I enjoyed him on the crew. I coined the phrase "portable buggy" first episode 0.
Pilot episode. Well, first of all, right? You know,
Come on, what do
you think this theory's true?
I don't really think it's true. It'd be funny. I never really say he's going to join the crew. I
Are
just
you
imagine.
not saying you're stupid?
I just imagine he'd be on
Yes,
the
I'm saying
adventure
you're
for
stupid.
longer. He's probably coming back soon.
He's not joining the crew.
Yeah, probably.
And if you think he's joining the crew, I'm not saying you're stupid.
I mean, I think people have left the train.
no, there's people still on the Caesar for crew train.
How?
They just love his character, but
He pretty much joined Capone's crew for a bit with
Exactly.
Gastino. So like,
I can't believe this theory even existed to begin with.
right?
All right. First reason why Caesar is not crew material. He experimented on children
Yeah.
and killed them.
Yeah. Well,
We don't want these people joining. What? Who wants him to join the crew?
people like him because it's funny
He's funny, but he's a fucking scumbag.
and he's Delphi's useful.
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
Right.
In fact, everyone on the crew calls him scumbag.
Yeah, they do. That's part of the
Everyone
gag.
on the crew hates Caesar Clown.
They do.
They all hate him. Especially Chopper and Nami. They really hate Caesar Clown.
Chopper's not having any of it at any point.
No, neither is Nami.
Yeah.
Right? They all call him scumbag.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a sad backstory. He's just an asshole.
I like his backstory though.
Yeah,
Pretty-
he's
it's
just an
funny.
asshole.
He's Buggy 2.0.
Yeah, I know. But he's not a sympathetic character. At no point is he a sympathetic character.
Right.
At no point is Oda trying to make you sympathize with Caesar.
I think people just like the laughs and want the laughs to continue.
But he's a scumbag.
He's not going to join the crew. Do you think he'll
He'll
be?
never be accepted as a crew member.
Yeah, he's not going to be one of the crew members. Do you think he's going to be around for any time longer, or do you think he's done? Because he kind of just disappeared.
He flew away to the moon.
Yeah, I don't know where he is.
He just disappeared. Yeah. Clearly the Oda doesn't know what to do with it. Oda's just like, get out of here.
Theory on
Get up.
Caesar, in the treasure room, racking all the money you can before he leaves.
Probably.
And he's going to get fucking busted.
Probably.
And somehow join Capone's crew.
Probably.
But him joining Capone's crew will have him in the future.
He's not even popular either.
Yeah.
He ranked 53 in the character poll.
Right.
Right? Characters that beat him were Kid, Beppo, and Bon Clay. They all beat him in the character polls.
What did Kid place? Did you remember what
It was
Kid
like
placed?
36.
People love Kid, and then
Carrot was like 26.
I mean, understandable that Carrot is so high because everyone's
Yeah,
like, she's gonna join the crew.
People like Carrot. That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't even like Caesar.
All right, so
He's not popular enough to be part of the Straw Hat crew.
what was your agenda on bringing this up, Christian?
I just think it's a stupid theory.
Now, there's a lot of theories out there. What motivated you to pick this one? Did you see like a forum post or?
I just thought about what are the theories that are stupid, and then you want to say that are stupid.
Do you think it's a theory or is it just like a thing of people?
Well, it's a theory.
Thinking about crew members.
People joining the crew is a theory.
Right.
So Caesar joining the crew is a stupid theory.
Right.
Right. He loves killing people with his gas weapons. He loves it. He can't wait to test his new death weapons on people.
Right.
He's a complete psychopath. He's not crew material. No, not at all. He's not crew material.
He would only be around via Capone at this point. And
Yeah.
I think he'd be around for a little bit longer. I think he was going to come back in Whole Cake Island with the Germans some way. Like, the German and Caesar just disappeared from this story.
For now.
We'll see, what
This
happens
week.
next week.
Yeah.
Anything else on this series, Christian? I'm not sure the play on bringing this up, but...
He only does good things when he's forced to do it or then it benefits himself.
Yeah.
He's a completely unredeemable character.
Right.
And how are people supposed to root for him when he's killed children? He loves murdering.
Yeah.
And he's just an all-round scumbag.
So...
Like, Luffy doesn't even know what his name is. He calls him Gas Guy.
I mean, that's Luffy's kind of thing, though.
Yeah, but at least he knows that he knows Frankie's name.
Right.
He knew Frankie's name. You know?
Anything else on this topic, Christian?
It's just like... No, Caesar's not joining the crew.
Alright, so is that all you have to say on the
It's
on
one
the
of,
matter?
it's one of the worst theories that's ever existed.
It's a big call.
One of the worst
There's
things that
some
ever
pretty
existed.
shitty theories out there.
It's so bad.
Moving on to the next topic, Christian. The topic of the show.
Topic of the show: the problem with Oda's main story structure,
The archetype of his structures.
the archetypes.
You've written down notes here, and they're copious in length and very detailed. Do you want to give us your points, and maybe I'll react to them?
Alright, so this is Oda's typical arc structure. Alright, so crew arrives,
Yep.
they set the scene. You know, we get the Shabondy, this is how it works, this is the island, this is what the people are like.
Seducing Woods,
All that
Chocolate
kind of
Town.
stuff.
Yep.
Crew finds trouble / gets in trouble. So this is when shit hits the fan.
The conflict. Act 1
conflict.
starts.
Act 1.
Yep.
Conflict. Crew splits up. For some reason. Crew splits up. Luffy gets trapped. Luffy always gets trapped. Luffy's always out of the story.
Do you think he's gonna
So
get?
the side characters can deal with their B plots.
Do you think Luffy's gonna be trapped in one, or is it just gonna be such a grand scale thing that he's actually gonna be doing things during the arc?
Who knows? So E.g. Alabasta, right?
Yep.
Not Alabasta, Skypiea.
He's in a snake the entire arc.
He's at a snake the entire arc.
Yeah.
Or even Alabasta. He's at the bottom of a desert pit.
Yeah.
And like Robin saves him.
Right.
So he's like wounded, or he gets stuck, or he's just at the arc. So the side plot.
He's in the Colosseum in Dressrosa for a long
Yeah.
time, and then he's like riding the bull for half the arc.
And then they're trying to get up to Caesar. And then they're trying to get up to Doflamingo, and they can't do it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Alright, crew deals with their side plots. Luffy gets freed. Luffy beats the big bad. The island / people are saved.
Right.
That's the general setup of the arcs.
Yeah.
Alright? So arcs like this: Alabasta, Skypiea, Water 7, Enies Lobby, Thriller Bark, Fishman Island, Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, Whole Cake Island to a certain degree.
Right.
Alright, so the main problems. This is predictable. It's right? It's predictable. We know what's going to happen if Oda follows this same structure. Right?
Similar structure in Shabondy as well. I just think that the pace is far quicker. So we're entertained.
but there's no big bad to beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
no big villain to beat. There's no...
Well, they're running away.
Yeah, but there's no goal
On
at
the
Shabondy,
Shabondy,
right?
yeah.
There's no goal. There's
Right.
nothing. There's like nothing really to do.
Right.
So you just feel like you're waiting for things to happen week to week. These are problems week to week. I don't think that they're problems when they're read in bulk form,
Yeah.
but these are problems week to week because you just feel like you're just waiting for things to happen.
People want
Like-
to skip act. People want to skip Act 2 all the
Yeah.
time.
Act 2 is always the dry point, except Hawkeye.
Act 1 and Act 2 are just exposition.
So, like, for example, like, you're just reading the arc week to week. Oh, when we know Luffy's gonna get freed. When's he gonna get freed? You know, we know certain things have to happen.
you know, he's in the book jail. When's he gonna get
yeah,
freed?
when's he gonna get freed?
Yeah.
We know these things are gonna happen, and it's predictable, right? And predictable things are less exciting by virtue that they're predictable.
Yeah.
Because you know they're gonna happen. Things like this have to happen. So you start thinking about the future, like future arcs instead of the here and now.
Like
And
the
that's a bad
savior
thing.
of Wano.
Yeah, that's a bad thing, right? You don't want to think about the future of the series. You want to think about the here and now.
Yeah.
Because the here and now is where it's supposed to be exciting.
Okay.
And when you start thinking about the future, because you're thinking, oh, well, I know Luffy has to beat the bad guy at the end. We know it's going to be like some sort of big punch. We know that Luffy's going to get trapped and he's going to get out. We know that the side plots have to be wrapped up before Luffy can do this big action scene. These kind of things just like make you think about the future of the story, right? You're not thinking about the things within the chapter week to week.
Right.
So you start losing focus, you start losing interest because things are predictable. Alright? Arc length. Arc length gets out of control in these like standard Oda arcs.
Yeah.
Because like it's crippling week to week because it seems like the pacing is really slow. Because Oda likes to set things up and then likes to pay them off.
Yeah.
Right? So you can have like a stretch of like 8 weeks of just setup.
And setup is required.
It's required. I'm saying these are problems week to week, right?
Yeah.
So you can have 8 weeks of pure setup and then 1 week where everything pays off.
Because if there's no setup, there's no grounds for anything to happen.
Yeah, I know that's a problem, but like week to week, it's a problem. People get frustrated, right?
Yeah.
You have to wait 2 months where everything gets set up and then 1 week where everything happens. And then you start the process all over again.
And you also get chapters of like people. He's just moving characters around.
Yeah, you get loads of moving chapters, things like that.
Yeah.
Because of the way the arc's structured, because the massive size of the arcs.
Yeah.
He likes to put in a lot of characters. Alright, so like I feel like people start to lose interest around 70% of the way through the arc, right? People start to get arc fatigue. Because they're like, yeah, I get it, alright? Luffy has to beat the big bad. Luffy has to punch harder. And then we can go to the next arc, which is going to be the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Also, the arc length is a big issue because it's the same setting for like 2 years. Alright? And like the same setting for a long period of time can get repetitive and you can start to lose interest.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing the same scenery, you see the same characters, you see the same like landmarks.
Situation.
Like there's no big reveals left. You feel like you're just looking at the same place. You start imagining.
You
what
feel
other
like
places
you're
look
just
like.
waiting for Luffy to punch harder.
Yeah. That's the big problem with the arc length, right?
Yeah.
Another big problem: too many characters. There's just too many characters in these long arcs now. All right.
Do we need Flambe?
Do we need that's different? Like, do we need all of components, man? Do we need?
Galette.
Well, they're the villain. Do we need like all the allies, right?
Yeah.
So we
Just think
remove half the crew to introduce new characters.
Just think about the amount of players in this arc.
Yeah.
We got Germa, Capone, and the Big Mom Pirates, and Luffy's crew. That's like four groups.
So what I've got written down here is Oda likes to introduce characters, right? These characters live on the island. They set up the themes for the island.
Yeah.
They pretty much are the representative for the island and the themes that it represents.
Yeah.
Right? So he fully fleshes out these characters for that reason, right? He gives them backstories. He gives them motivations.
Yeah.
He gives them interesting power schemes, right? To flesh out the island, right? But people just want to see Straw Hats, right? If you're seeing do people really care about Kuros's backstory? You know, why do we care about Kuros's backstory? We just want to see, Luffy and the crew. That's a fair criticism because reading week to week, if you don't see the characters you care about, the characters you like, for 3 weeks straight, you start to get frustrated and you start to think about maybe this would be better if the crew was involved here.
When reading Sky Pier a few weeks ago, I said that the Nolan flashback was very long, but I also said I'd imagine people would be pulling their hair out.
Yeah, dude,
week
seriously.
to week.
I've heard stories of people who were reading week to week in Sky Pier.
Because it just happened just before Luffy was about to fight.
Yeah, Sky Pier was a hated arc not too long ago.
Yeah.
It's only come back in fashion.
Yeah.
For this reason. So these are big problems week to week, but in volume format, they're not really problems. Right. So, too many characters. Sometimes Oda gives us the same character in every arc.
Yeah.
So, the royalty, right? You got Vivi, you got Shirahoshi, and you got Rebecca, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty much the same characters. So, they represent the true royalty, the good royalty, the people who are just and right in the arc.
Yeah.
But they all play the same role. They're all female. They all do the same thing. They have different names. They have different powers.
Different personalities.
They have different personalities, but they fulfill the same role in all their arcs.
I guess Shirahoshi and Rebecca are the same person.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. Vivi's a different person, but she fulfills the same role in her arc. Now, if you see the same character over and over again, but a different skin, you feel like you know what's gonna happen again. So it's predictable. It's predictability that ruins the week to week experience.
Right.
You don't want to feel like you can predict the story. So that's another problem with these massive predictable arcs.
Right.
Oda likes to introduce the same characters, right? Right, and these characters get frustrating, right? Because you want to see the main crew. People read One Piece to see the crew, right?
Do you think people would be complaining about pudding if the arc was half the length?
No. But that's a different story.
Right.
Because pudding's not really that's why I say Whole Cake Island's not really.
I feel like the longer the arc is, the more nitpicky people get.
Yeah, that's because they start thinking about the future. They start thinking about predictability. So with Whole Cake Island, right, it starts off not as a predictable Oda arc.
Right.
But now it has turned into that.
It had an interesting climax in the middle of the arc this time.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting structure for Oda. We'll get another climax soon, but people are kind of just like, you've done the 3 arc structure twice in an arc, and that gets laborious when you have to do exposition and setup again.
Again, yeah.
After a climax.
That's why I say Oda's tried something different with Whole Cake Island.
Yeah.
I think it's successful.
Yeah, we still don't know what's really going to happen.
Yeah,
we know, but we don't.
Yeah.
We know the grand scheme, we don't know the details, which is usually how it goes. I think people also kind of know what... People aren't really excited for, the predictability of Wano. They want to see hype characters.
Yeah, it's all about hype for Wano.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's going to be a predictable arc structure.
Yeah.
And,
traditional arc structure.
Yeah, the classic Oda structure of his arcs.
Now, the thing I loved about Shabondy is that, it's unpredictable which character's going to turn up at what point.
That was the same thing with Whole Cake Island at the start, right? At the start,
we were excited about the potential of returning characters.
We had no idea what could happen.
Kush and I were theorizing about who's going to turn up to the wedding. We've already said this during this arc.
I thought Crocodile was going to turn up.
Devol as well.
Was going to turn up.
Maybe another Yonko was invited.
Maybe another Emperor was invited.
That's what we were thinking, but we weren't given that. We were given more Big Mom pirates, and we saw, everyone loves Katakuri, which is good. Do you think what's left of surprises in Whole Cake Island? Do you think Smoothie's going to do anything?
That's what I'm saying. There's no surprises left.
And when there's no surprises left, you're saying that the community...
People get frustrated. When the story gets predictable, it becomes less fun to read week to week.
Yeah.
Because you want to be constantly thinking about the here and now. What could happen next chapter?
Yeah.
you want to be thinking about that.
We've kind of known what's going to happen for the last 10.
Yeah, you don't want to be thinking about Reverie, Wano, the future. Let's get this over with.
Yeah.
Because we know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem with these long arcs and these classic style arcs.
I mean, do you think it's unprecedented story fatigue as well? This series has been going for a very long time. Do you think people just had enough? They want to see Shanks. They want to see the final war.
People were excited to start this arc.
Yeah.
But then it turned into the classic arc structure.
After the cake fell, specifically.
Yeah, after the cake fell, it turned into a predictable format.
So, Christian, we're saying all these things, but what's our point? What are we trying to get at?
My point is that this arc structure is not necessarily great for week to week.
Yeah.
It's great for volume.
Do you think the arc...
It's great for storytelling in general, right?
Yeah.
But in this format of week to week, maybe it's not so good for week to week.
I mean, it's the classic arc structure and story structure of any story. That's why it works.
That's why it works.
I think the problem that we've been seeing is that a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Surprises
Character
get used.
Yeah.
And the setup may be a little bit much.
It's like the energy of the arc fades out to the end.
Yeah.
And then it comes back up for the climax.
Because we had the same thing in Dressrosa.
Yeah, we had that real bad in Dressrosa.
Yeah.
So, Oda's classic arc structure, it's very good for marathons and volume reading. Week to week, towards the end, it gets frustrating.
Right.
And I understand that, but there's multiple arcs like this, and you can see that everything pays off, everything ends up being satisfying.
Every arc that you love, ladies and gentlemen, has a similar structure, apart from Shabondy and Zoe.
Zoe, Shabondy, and the early One Piece, which really doesn't...
It sort of does. There's always a conflict.
Yeah,
How long...
Yeah, but Luffy doesn't get... They're quick arcs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're quick.
They're quick.
They don't have the royalty, they don't have the
laborious nature.
Luffy getting stuck, they don't have a million side plots.
Right.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that it's a good structure. It works. Works very well.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a grand adventure.
It's a grand overall structure.
It's an odyssey.
If Oda doesn't have these structures, the whole story would be everywhere.
The thing is, if Oda doesn't spend time setting everything up laboriously,
you don't get proper payoff.
And you don't get hype.
You don't get hype, but you don't get hype, you don't get proper payoff.
He can draw fights all day if he wanted to, and he can draw things. He can draw Shanks doing something every week, but it doesn't mean anything if there's no setup, if there's no anticipation.
Yeah, it's that's my main problem with the current arc of Dragon Ball Super.
Right.
Because none of these fights actually mean anything because there's no motivation behind it.
And there's no anticipation.
There's no anticipation. There's no side plots. It's just people fighting.
The ultimate payoff of shonen history will be Shanks doing something hype. Yeah. The 30-year payoff that has been cooking.
I'm sure the payoff for Whole Cake Island is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
But this arc structure week to week is flawed for week to week structures, man.
Do you think
it's just the way it is.
Do you think Oda is going to go back to his old structure of a very slow start and then we get into it, instead of doing a little bit?
What does that mean?
Because we mentioned Whole Cake and its kind of different arc structure with with a climax in the middle.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to keep a consistent pace throughout and then climax at the end?
I reckon one is going to be 3 arcs in one.
Right. Do you think there's going to be, say we're in, I don't know, the third arc of the 3 arcs or whatever, do you think people are going to be upset with the setup of that third part?
Yeah.
Because
I imagine there's going to be Zoro stuff, then Wano, freeing Wano stuff.
Yeah.
And then Kaido stuff.
Do you think those will run all at the same time, or are we doing separate things?
That's what I'm saying, right? If they all run at the same time,
it's interesting.
You get 10 chapters of setup.
Maybe 15 chapters of setup.
You get 50 of constant cutting, constant chopping things up. You feel like when Oda chops things up, you get 4 different things per chapter. I think it's all set up. You feel like you're going at a snail's pace.
I think 4 different storylines in Wano could be interesting for Oda. He could spin plates, as it were, in arc structure. So
But he has to skip a lot of things,
yeah,
right?
he could have the setup for Zoro happening while another climax of another story is happening somewhere else, and we don't get the stagnation between.
But you still need to set things up,
You
right?
still need at the start will be slow, no doubt, but we'll be getting information that's crucial to the arc, and people are going to be excited for kind of information.
And it's all the goodwill has
we'll
come back.
Yeah, and we'll get good information. What I want to see from Oda in Wano, this would be interesting for me, if Zoro is already in his third act when we arrive, Luffy and the crew is in his first act, and someone else is in the second, and we juggle the spinning plates throughout the arc, splitting them up, maybe half chapters, full chapters here, half a chapter there, so we don't get this block of climax, block of setup, block of
resolve,
explanations, block of resolve. It kind of gives us tastes of each section.
If people don't see Zoro if he's already like about to win when we arrive, are people gonna be upset?
Yeah, but it's an example of like that. I'd like to see him try that structure because he's willing to try new structures.
New structures in the new world.
It'd be interesting. It'd be a lot of spinning plates, and that's like a 300 chapter solution.
It's really hard to suggest solutions for this, right?
Yeah.
Because these arc structures work.
And we're not masters. We don't really know what we're doing. We're just spitballing ideas.
I know what a good structure is, and this is a good structure. I'm just saying, week to week,
We haven't written stories for 20 years.
it's a bit painful week to week.
You know.
Yeah, and Oda doesn't do this arc structure all the time, right? He spices things up.
Yeah.
But he always comes back to that classic arc structure. What I'm trying to say is, my main point is that I understand the frustration when we get to the end of the arc.
Yeah.
I understand it. Like, we're not going to deny that
It's
people get
frustrating.
frustrated, right?
But just hold in there because the hype's coming.
Because you got to think about this as a quality story at the end of the day. Do you want it's like a long payoff or an instant payoff. When a long payoff is more satisfying at the end.
At a certain point, instant gratification becomes meaningless.
Yeah. If you're just constantly getting instant gratification every week and the story makes no sense and you're just getting like random dribble, meaningless plot.
You need the lows to have the highs, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're saying.
And like when you read it all in one go, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because you get all the information you need, you get everything you need. Right? You don't leave an arc feeling like, oh, he dropped the ball with this plot point.
I feel like Oda has the entire story written down in his head, ready to go, and he's just going through it. Do you think he is paying attention week to week readers? Do you think he's because we've seen
He is paying attention.
We've seen these these cliffhangers 3 or 4 times of Sanji making the cake.
Yeah.
You know.
That he definitely Oda writes it. We know how Oda writes arcs, right?
Yeah.
He has his general ideas, his general way of how he thinks it's gonna go.
His estimates on how long it's gonna take.
His estimates, all the things he wants to hit, and then during the weeks, he comes up with a new idea.
Yeah.
And then he puts it in the arc.
That's why they run far.
That's why they run really long. Now that's part of the magic, right?
Yeah.
But reading week to week, that can get tiring. Like, when the arc is done, everything is good.
Yeah.
But like week to week, it's painful sometimes.
It's a lot of juggling balls, spinning plates, figuring out where things go.
I just want people to understand, like, it's better off to have a better story overall than to have a better story week to week.
Yeah.
Because a better story overall is what you're going to remember.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go back and read an arc, everything's going to line up, everything's going to make sense, you're going to feel satisfied.
Yeah.
If you just keep on constantly getting, like, meaningless fights, meaningless speeches that are, like, out of left field just for hype's sake, right? You're going to go back, you're going to reread it, and the arc's going to mean nothing.
It's going to mean nothing, and it's going to
story.
make no sense.
Yeah, and that's a bad story. You want to get meaning out of an arc, you want to get feeling out of an arc, and that's how you do it.
Christian, any final thoughts on the arc structure that Oda uses and anything that you want to say to people before we go?
I just want people to understand the arc structure.
Yeah.
If you understand the arc structure, you can surrender yourself to it, right? You understand it, so you're not gonna get upset when it happens.
Right.
Because when you understand something, you know that, all right, fine, I get it. This has to happen for the general story to be better in the long run.
And you put the pieces together and you can come up with ideas that
Yeah.
are going to happen. And these pieces are crucial to the story overall.
Yeah.
And Oda loves to set plot points up that are kind of come back in unexpected ways far later down the road. And that's why we love, that's what we love about One Piece, is the overwhelming connection of details.
Yeah, and these things have to be set up.
Yeah.
So,
I think that'll do us for
this
tonight,
week?
Christian. Interesting discussion this week. Next week, new chapter. Predictions on the chapter. What do you think? What do we think?
what did I say? I said more Luffy's Katakuri stuff, right?
Yeah,
pretty sure that's
we
what I
were
said.
confused on what's gonna happen with the Germa.
Yeah, German could show up.
It's really weird when like a chapter doesn't come out in a week. I feel like it's been 10,000 years since we got a chapter. You know.
I know, right?
The pain of Oda breaks is just brutal. But we are through January, the hell month.
That's true.
And we should be back on
Should be
pretty
back
regular
on
schedule of
At least
4 chapters.
at least 4 chapters
in a row.
a week, yeah. And yeah, in a row.
I'd love 4 chapters in a week.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, 4 chapters in a row, and we'll be covering those intently with our thoughts and opinions. If you have thoughts and opinions about this episode, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on Twitter at Christian.
C_Tolato.
You can find me at Eric Tolato on Twitter. You can find the RedForce podcast at the RF podcast on Twitter. You can email us at theRedforcePodcast@gmail.com. We've been seeing good comments. Good
discussion.
People like to comment the content. We'll read your questions, your theories.
We did it this week.
Share us with your friends. Get people involved. You know, we'd like to be involved in the YouTube community more so.
Reverie Part 4 is the goal.
Maybe I'll reach out to a few of
your mates,
my insiders, to maybe, I don't know, get on a live stream further on or something. Just kind of get the podcast out there.
Yeah, I think the main goal is to get us on Reverie Part 4.
Yeah, we're interested in the community and what you guys think on the forums, and we're going to be here for a long time. We are reading the official release.
Yes.
We come out every Tuesdays/Wednesdays, depending on your location. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying very desperately.
What's with Premiere?
I'm trying very desperately to figure out how to get this in an audio form. RSS feed issues, all those kind of issues that are doing my head in at the moment. Hopefully we can figure that out for you people that drive and want to listen to an hour and a half, 2 hour podcast about One Piece.
We go deep.
We go real deep on topics that people discuss here and there, but never really get into. You know, send us your topics that you want us to cover. You know, this story is vast in its length and knowledge, so we're going to be here for a long time.
Yeah.
Every week. Anything else before we go, Christian? Anything else you want to say to people?
Shanks is the God King.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll put my mic over here so I don't peek it.
Been peeking it lately, you piece of shit.
Yeah, that's what they call me, peeker.